Okay, so it looks like we're live. The date is the 24th of December, 2020, the day before Christmas. The world is building an alternative financial system. What I wanted to discuss today is just 20 cryptocurrency talking points in 2020. Now, guys, this is my first live stream, so, forgive me. I actually am still battling to work out how the software works and trying to figure out everything. I actually made a video and I thought, just like, this video really is not good. So I'm going to convert it into a live stream and hopefully we'll be able to interact and just talk about 20 good talking points for 2020. Now, the first things that I wanted to talk about, and I'm going to break this down into 3 sections. So we're going to talk about AltCoinTrader achievements and events. Then we're going to talk about some of the changes that have happened in the world in 2020. And then finally, we're going to talk about changes that have happened in cryptocurrency in 2020. So join me, enjoy this live stream, and let's see if we can get through that. Now, the first change that I want to speak about is AltCoinTrader launched 3 coins in 2020. And those were Compound. Compound is a DeFi coin. It's really an exciting coin. It hasn't had a tremendous uptake on AltCoinTrader, but it is a coin that is very exciting to me. And it was the coin that initially, in my opinion, birthed the entire DeFi loaning sector and started the yield farming phase. More the yield farming than DeFi. But it started paying rewards and it got people excited and it got people earning interest on their crypto. The second coin that we launched in 2020 was, of course, Diem. And Diem is a stable coin. The thinking behind this was that if we launched this coin and you took a DeFi loan, you would be able to cash out into Rands on AltCoinTrader, and that would allow you to use DeFi loans in the real world, in the real space. Now, guys, I am going to try and watch the chat. I'm still trying to figure out how this goes. I can see people. Hey, Carl, I can see you there. Mr. Martins, I can see you. Miss Billionaire, Andre, Sue. Okay, guys, so it looks like that the live stream is working and I have got some people joining me in this chat. So as we were saying, Diem is a coin that we launched and that would allow you to take a DeFi loan and get the Rands into the real world so that you could spend the money on whatever you like. And then, of course, the final coin that we launched in 2020 was Chainlink. Now, Chainlink is so high up in the top 10 that it was a long time coming. And I think AltCoinTrader should have actually launched this coin a long time before that, but it was just imminent and it was something that we had to launch. So we're going to be discussing 20 points and I'm going to claim each coin as one of these points. So point 1 was launching Comp. Point 2 was launching Diem. Point 3 was launching Link. Then, of course, AltCoinTrader did 4 projects which really stood out to me and I thought were amazing. And that first project was xZAR, which is the South African stablecoin. There's a lot of uses for this coin and we are seeing more and more people using this coin. So if you haven't got involved, if you don't understand what xZAR is actually a coin that trades on AltCoinTrader. It is totally interchangeable with Rands. So if you notice, you're actually trading Chainlink with xZAR. You're trading Bitcoin with xZAR. But xZAR, you can cash it out into your bank account and at that point it will convert into normal Rands, or you could take it into the decentralized financial space. Use it on Uniswap, use it on some of the decentralized exchanges. And xZAR is an amazing coin. You can actually pay friends with it, peer-to-peer, just by using an app on your cell phone. So that is something that is super exciting for me with xZAR. I really like that protocol very much. Something else that we brought out was Easy Buy. Now, there were a lot of people that were entering the crypto space. They just didn't know how to use the order books and everything that happens on AltCoinTrader. How to buy, how to sell, how to trade. So for those people that still wanted to get involved in crypto, we thought Easy Buy and Sell would be the perfect solution. It allows you to buy crypto you know, if you want to buy 100 Rand, if you want to buy 1,000 Rand, or if you want to buy a different amount, you can actually just buy that different amount, put in whatever amount you like 150 Rand. It will give you an estimate of how much crypto you're going to get. By simply clicking buy, you would get that crypto. Of course, the same is for selling. It makes it super easy to sell your crypto if you want to cash out and get back into Rands. Now, easy buy and easy sell. A lot of exchanges have got it. It was time that AltCoinTrader got it. That is the 5th talking point. The 6th talking point, and guys, a lot of you don't even know about this, and that is the easy save. With DeFi, with 2020, with yield farming, we got to a stage where we were no longer happy for our crypto to sit there and not earn any type of interest. So AltCoinTrader launched Easy Save. Now, when I say launched it, it hasn't officially launched. I did sort of launch it on my YouTube channel, but a lot of people are going to start using it in 2021 at the official launch. But for the early comers, you have to actually type in altcointrader.co.za/easy-save to get to this point. And you can start earning money. Bitcoin 4%, South African Tether 4%, Tron a whopping 10.44%. USDT 7.32%. If you're going to have crypto and you are going to be hodling for the long term, why not earn interest? Why not just make some money? Guys, I am going to be checking the chat. It's on a different screen here for me from time to time. So if you guys have got questions, try and type them in a concise, clear way, and I'll actually address that and we'll talk about it and I'll answer that. I'll, in the meantime, continue to go through my 20 talking points for 2020. So let's just see here. We've got Joe D'Souza, who's actually my dad. He's saying, Merry Christmas. We've got Andre Swart, says, Richard, as USA economy is not very good at the moment and out the Rand versus the dollar is bad. So make some money, crypto, DeFi, did with mining. Okay, so it looks like Andre, sorry Andre, I'm battling to read that because it's quite small, it's on a different screen, but looks like you made some mining with some money with DeFi, and that is awesome to hear. Guys, in 2020 there was an opportunity to make sick gains with cryptocurrency, with DeFi, but we're going to get into that a bit later in the video. Guys, as I say, if you have got questions, I am going to be glancing over there every now and again. I will have to probably stop talking for a second while I try and address these questions. Carl, happy holidays, Mr. Rads. Carl, thanks very much. And Ruan, he says, hey Rads, hey. Guys, thanks very much for commenting in the chat. I do appreciate it. Now, back to where we were. Point number 7 of our 20 talking points. Once again, this is something that hasn't launched. And I know a lot of you guys don't actually know about it, but it is going to be becoming more and more prevalent as 2021 breaks in. And that is, if you go to xZAR, you'll see AltSwap and it says trade now. You can just simply go to AltSwap. It is a decentralized exchange. Looks very similar to Uniswap, but there's more to it than that. It is actually an aggregator. What an aggregator means is that it will go and poll multiple decentralized exchanges to get you the best possible price for your trade. So if we have a look, we go to xZAR, we go to projects, and we go down to AltSwap, we can see some of the exchanges that it will poll to get you the best price. And those are 0x, Balancer, Bancor, Curve, Dodo, Kyber, Mooniswap, Mstable, Oasis, Shell, SushiSwap, Swerve, and of course Uniswap. So guys, I don't know how many of you have actually been trading with decentralized exchanges, DEXs, but if you have been, often you've had to go from exchange to try and find the best price. What happens with a DEX aggregator or a decentralized exchange aggregator, it will go and search for the best possible price for you on those multiple exchanges. Now, as we can see, you could sell one Ethereum for 9,300 79 Rand. Let's have a quick look at if that would be a worthwhile trade on AltCoinTrader. Let's just go to Ethereum. Guys, certainly there is an opportunity here because you could buy an Ethereum for 9,050 Rand. Okay, this guy's selling for 9,188. So the idea, of course, is to go to AltSwap, look if there's an opportunity. If there is an opportunity, go and make that trade and make a little bit of money with arbitrage. Guys, I'm getting a lot of WhatsApps here and also a lot in the chat. So I just wanted to see that this wasn't related to the chat. Let's say, sorry, what I meant, Andre Swart says, sorry, what I meant is teach us here in South Africa to make some money on DeFi and crypto. That will help us. Andre, yeah, thanks for that. I agree with you. There is so many opportunities in DeFi and so much possibility for people to actually engage and make good returns. Now, with Easy Save, it is the first start with making some money with crypto. If you've got Bitcoin, if you've got South African Tether, the XZAR, the stable coin, or you've got Tron, it's really simple. You can just simply go log in here, click start saving, and you will start earning some money on crypto. If you have a look at some of my other DeFi videos and crypto videos, you will see some of the opportunities that were available in DeFi. The reason that I say were is because DeFi was a craze that, like in 2017, when we had the ICO craze, there were a lot of people that made a lot of good money. And it is becoming more and more difficult to make money in DeFi. But it is certainly not impossible to make money. You just need to look at those projects in 2021, which is only a couple of weeks away, or less, maybe 1 or 2 weeks. I will be sharing some of the videos of my top DeFi picks and top ways to make money in the DeFi and yield farming space. So guys, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, maybe hit the subscribe button and don't miss out on those opportunities. In the meantime, feel free to use this Easy Save platform so that if you have crypto on AltCoinTrader, it's not just laying around doing nothing. You are earning some good returns on that crypto. It's actually really cool because the interest piles up every sort of 10 minutes and you can actually see what you're earning. And those interest rates will change and will fluctuate. We're hoping to try and get them as high as possible so that we can bring you guys the best possible returns. Mr. Tom, please go deep in details on the AltSwap. Okay, I'll go a little bit deeper on the details with AltSwap. Guys, I really like AltSwap, but there is a little bit of a problem with it. And the problem is that the fees that you pay on the Ethereum network for this DEX to actually go and poll all the exchange are in many cases making it not that profitable. So this platform is, the fees are extremely high. But the reason for that is because xZAR doesn't have good liquidity across a whole range of decentralized platforms. But myself and our technical team are working on that. That's one of the reasons why we haven't launched the AltSwap in such great detail, because it hasn't been a product that will tremendously benefit you. But stay tuned, because in the near future, as we get more and more liquidity across more and more platforms, you will be able to get really good deals. And because of those deals, it will outpace the slightly higher fees that you can experience on Uniswap. So, Mr. Tom, just to give you a little bit more information on that, of course, you would have to have a wallet. What I suggest you do, and I'll probably make a video on how to trade on a decentralized exchange. You need to have a wallet like MetaMask. There are, of course, other wallets. There are a lot of videos on how to do this, but step 1, download MetaMask. Step 2, move some funds into your MetaMask wallet. Those funds would either be Ethereum or xZAR are my suggestions. Step 3, log on and just start to trade. I mean, you can swap it here. You can see that if you were to buy 1 Ethereum, you would have to pay 9,400 Rand to buy an Ethereum. And if you were selling an Ethereum, you could pay 9,300. But of course, if you were on AltCoinTrader, it would be a lot cheaper. You could actually, you could buy an Ethereum for 1,988 and you could sell an Ethereum for 8,999. But let's just do a quick refresh to see if those prices have changed. So guys, the idea behind the two exchanges, AltCoinTrader and of course AltSwap, or any decentralized exchanges, is there is an opportunity to arbitrage between the different prices, and you can take advantage of that and start making money. Mr. Tom, I will go into more detail, but I think that you probably got it with what I've said, and you can start looking at this as opportunities. Of course, a nice thing about decentralized exchanges, when regulation comes in next year or whenever it does come in, decentralized exchanges are beyond the reach of the regulators. So you will be able to trade and move your crypto and make profits freely without regulators actually getting involved. Let's see what Andre says. Thanks, Richard. Looking forward to it. Don't have BTC, but I'm invested in all the others on your platform and think Cardano will blow up to the moon in 2020. They are entering into new DeFi as well. Cardano is certainly a very, very interesting coin, which I've been watching closely. The way that it has been designed and developed and everything has been done just so well and so professionally, I think that it is certainly going to be a contender for DeFi in the future. But I think, of course, Ethereum has got such a first mover advantage and is so strong at the moment that it's really going to be difficult for other projects like Tron, like Cardano, to actually start taking market share in that space. But I think there's still going to be many good opportunities. You know, I think with the Tron network and Tron on DeFi, there is good opportunity and you can make money right now as we speak. Okay, guys, I'm going to carry on with those points. Hello, Santa's little helper, says Vic. Hi, I hope you guys like the hat. I thought I would wear it to, get the crypto and holiday spirit, the festive season holidays spirit going. Point number 8, as I carry on moving with this. What we saw in 2020 was FNB. They actually came in and they said that they were going to no longer bank cryptocurrency platforms. This announcement was actually made in 2019, but we saw on the 28th of February 2020, FNB finally shutting down AltCoinTrader's bank account, stating clearly that they were not prepared to be in the crypto space and they were not crypto friendly. Guys, we've got 4 banks in South Africa, ABSA, FNB. Those 2 banks are not crypto friendly and they have made it clear. Then, of course, we've got Nedbank, which have taken a wait and see approach. They are neither pro-crypto or against crypto. They just really want to see. And then, of course, we've got Standard Bank, which is one of my favorite banks, of course, because they are pro-crypto. They are taking a fair stance. They're saying, let's not snuff out and stifle a new industry. Let's give them a fair chance. So Standard Bank, guys, thank you so much. You are crypto friendly. You are allowing the South African population to be able to partake in cryptocurrencies on platforms like AltCoinTrader. And I think that in these trying times, it is so nice to have a bank that doesn't snuff out the opportunity for people to make money. It allows us to make money with cryptocurrencies and to use that money to pay our bills and to feed our families. So we saw FNB and Standard Bank, FNB and ABSA pulling out of crypto, but crypto is alive and well in South Africa. And of course, they weren't able to kill us because of partners like Standard Bank that have taken a level-headed and a fair approach. Let's see. Hello. Let's see what Miss Billionaire says. What do you think of what's happening with XRP and what do you think of Flare Network? With XRP, obviously the Security Exchange Commission have come out and they are going to file a lawsuit. There's a couple of things that were strange to me about this, and that was that it was not announced by the SEC or the Security Exchange Commission. Actually, Ripple, the XRP company, came out and they were the ones that broke the news, saying that they're expecting the SEC to, put in some regulation or to give them a massive fine because of the fact that they see that this XRP is an unregulated commodity or security is, I think, the better wording for it. So they're saying it is an unregulated security and there is going to be consequences for Ripple company actually launching XRP. Now, I personally think that it will have a negative connotation on the price in the near future, but I don't think that we're going to have any problems long term with what XRP's mission is and what their goal is. I think that it is unfortunate because the timing is going to hamper the XRP price with what we're expecting, this near bull run. But long term, it's not going to damage the project. No one's going to go to jail, and XRP will continue to be a coin that has a very prominent space in crypto. So it's unfortunate, but it's very early. We'll have to wait and see. As far as the Flare network goes, well, there was a lot of hype and there were a lot of announcements. So the Flare token, the way that they are going to roll it out, they're giving 15% sometime in 2021, and then it's going to take years for them to actually give everyone the tokens, the Spark tokens from the Flare network. So it is a bit of a disappointment, in my opinion, because we were all expecting to get these tokens, and be able to trade with them, be able to do something with them. But it has turned out to be, after what was a massive announcement, a very much a wait and see game. And exchanges all over the world haven't got those tokens yet and are not able to give it to their clients. So a bit of an anticlimax, but it certainly shows that there is stuff being built on the XRP network. Let's have a look at what Andre says. My Capitec crypto friendly. Is Capitec crypto friendly? David, Capitec is sort of neither crypto friendly or not, because they don't allow business bank accounts at this stage. So it's not a situation where AltCoinTrader could go out and get a Capitec bank account, because Capitec simply don't allow that. So, they couldn't really take a stand either way. They're more inclined for sole proprietors or personal banking accounts. So if you've got a Capitec bank account, you can certainly make a deposit into AltCoinTrader. You can certainly make a withdrawal from AltCoinTrader. But AltCoinTrader as a company is not able to go and get a Capitec bank account. Let's see what Andre Swart says. Richard, last thing, please can you create a Telegram group and we can ask questions. We have many questions on crypto. Andre, it is something that I have thought about, but I'm not really much of a social media guy. If it is something that a lot of people request, we will consider doing it. We would just have to get moderators and people to run it, because I make my YouTube videos and I answer 1 or 2 questions, but even on Twitter, I'm not very active. I am more a guy that likes to build a platform. I like to code. I like to do things like that. I like to, obviously running AltCoinTrader takes a lot of time, and we are trying to bring better projects to the community and, to just get crypto pumping. So I don't really, first of all, I'm not inclined to chat a lot on groups like Telegram, but it would also cut into a lot of my coding time and a lot of the time that I like to spend working on AltCoinTrader. But I don't think it's a bad idea, and we may consider doing something like that, if not a Telegram group, something like that, to improve crypto communications in 2021. So let's watch the space and see what's happening. Miss Billionaire says, Capitec recently invested in xZAR running on XRP. Well, that is certainly news to me, and that sounds very exciting. So I will keep my eyes and ears on the ground to listen. And I actually know xZAR very well, and we're very friendly. We talk a lot. I'll give the guy a shout and we'll chat about that. Okay, we were on point 8, guys. Now, point number 9 out of our 20 points to talk about for 2020 was the pandemic that swept the world. I'm now going into world changes. So number 9 was the pandemic, or the virus that actually swept the world. Initially it changed everything that we knew as a society, as a community, and it was very frightening for a lot of people. But it did so much more than that. A lot of people lost their business, they lost their income, they lost the ability to pay their bills and provide food for their families. So it was a massive, massive change. If I'm on the South African official site, and we can see that there's been over 6 million tests. We've got 954,000 positive cases identified. So we're just under 1 million cases in South Africa. Good news, guys, we've had over 811,000 recoveries, which certainly, at least in my mind, shows us that we are able to recover from this coronavirus, and unfortunately 25,000 deaths. A lot of people questioning that death figure. Is it because of coronavirus solely, or is this people that had underlying conditions that were probably going to die anyway because of illness? Some of them were just extremely old, and we all know you can't live forever, but certainly nothing to sneeze at. It is a very significant figure, and this virus has taken its toll on humanity as a whole. And it has changed the way we think. It has changed the way corporates think about people working remotely and people working in the office. And maybe we're going to get to a stage where we can work from home or work remotely and change everything, change the way we do things, allowing us to spend more time with our friends and family. Obviously, if you're in some businesses, you've done really well with this pandemic. With everything in life, there's pros and cons. I mean, if you were selling toilet paper, for example, you did very well. Or if you were selling illegal cigarettes, a great business to be in during the coronavirus. Guys, I'm just, making light of a really serious situation, but a lot of people really battling economically because of this virus and because of what it has meant and the way it has shut down the economy. Let's have a look. Andre says, thanks so much. Okay, guys, moving straight on to point number 10 in our 20 points, and that is with Facebook. Facebook in 2019 came out with Libra. Libra was a coin that I was absolutely fascinated with. It is a coin that was set to change the financial landscape as we know it. But, of course, the regulators and the government said, no ways, Facebook, you are not going to launch something like that. The reason that they said that was, first of all, because Libra coin is fully centralized. It's not like Bitcoin that is decentralized. So no matter what the regulators say about Bitcoin, they could say that they don't want it and that they are not able to stop it because of the decentralized nature of Bitcoin. But with the centralized nature of Libra coin and Facebook, regulators and governments were able to go to a certain place and to a certain person and say, hey, hang on a second, you're not going to do this. Now that was going to change finances forever. And I say was, get a little bit later into, they are still going to launch a stable coin called Diem. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. But Facebook, as we know, is a quasi-government. They've got so many users and they are so big that if they launch something, it's bound to be a success. And can you imagine having a wallet on your phone or on the Facebook app that allowed you to simply transfer money? Why would we need banks anymore? Why would we need anything other than the Facebook platform to transfer value? If someone did something for you and you wanted to pay them, you could pay them with this Facebook coin. And the rate of adoption would be astronomical because vendors and people selling goods and services would start accepting this coin because overnight it would instantly have value. So this as a talking point at number 10 is going to be something that I'm going to be monitoring in 2020. This new stable coin, I think what Facebook said is, listen, Libra's got a terrible name. The regulators have got us and they've shut us down totally. Let's rebrand and come out a little bit more cautiously. And we can still take over the world with Diem. So something to look out for and something that is going to be huge in the future. If, of course, the regulators don't once again say, no, Facebook, you're not going to be doing that. Let's have a look at what Johan Versace says. Richard, thank you very much for all you teaching and tips. You are indeed a star. Johan, thanks so much. I always appreciate a positive comment, and I certainly do try. I know that it's not always easy, and a lot of the topics that I discuss on YouTube are reasonably complex, And of course, the space moves so quickly that you've just learned one thing and it's changed and it's no longer valid. So I think in 2021, we're going to try and actually seize these opportunities quick and make some good money with them. And also, of course, try and avoid the risks, because it is cryptocurrency and anything can happen. And when these wild returns come out, obviously there's very often a lot of big risks. Okay, guys, so I can see that there's about 23 viewers, if I'm reading this right. Once again, my first live stream. I'm trying to learn the software. I'm trying to figure out what is going on. And so far, so good. It seems to be working. Okay, now point number 11 in our 20 points that we are discussing is central bank digital currencies, or commonly known as CBDCs. Now, a lot of people are going, oh, but what's the big deal? Because isn't the currency already digital? I mean, cash is sort of less than 10% of the money in existence, and that figure is dramatically dropping. So, like, why is there a change? Okay, well, let's just talk about one or two aspects of a central bank digital currency. The first aspect is, if banks ever thought they had something to worry with cryptocurrencies, they've got nothing to worry about cryptocurrencies when compared to a central bank digital currency. The central bank would allow us to send this currency with an app between peers. So in other words, we would simply be able to take our phone and send someone this currency. And if it was to be the Rand, that would totally cut out the banks. The middleman would be gone. Now, that is something that banks would have to be concerned about. Because why would you need a bank account if you had an app on your phone and the central bank could distribute the money, and your employer or whoever you work for would pay you directly with this currency, and there would be no reason to pay bank fees or to have a bank. However, there are, of course, a lot of disadvantages with this. Although the governments will cloak this with a lot of things. They'll say you can easily move money overseas. You can earn money via interest. But let's talk about the dark side and the control that it would give the current governments and the regulators of every single transaction that we did. You would no longer be able to tip a waiter in a restaurant unless it went through your app. That would be tracked. You'd no longer be able to give your garden boy or your gardener or a person offering you a service, you wouldn't be able to give them a tip because it would be tracked. Or if you did give them a tip, it would have, first of all, tax implications if it was above a tax threshold for the person receiving the tip. And of course, it would have implications that everyone would be able to see what was done with your money. Our financial freedom would absolutely be absolved with a central bank digital currency. And that would change everything we know. Now, a lot of people say, hey, but I'm not a criminal and I've got nothing to hide. And I'd agree with that. We've got nothing to hide with our financial transactions. And that's not what we're talking about here. I'm not concerned about privacy because it's going to expose criminals. In fact, we want criminals to be exposed. And that aspect is a positive. But let's just think about all the other aspects. Let's say you have a business and you are supplying imported goods, and you have done a lot of research and built up over years and years a certain amount, your suppliers, and you buy from those suppliers, and you don't want your competitive businesses to be able to open the blockchain and just see exactly who you are using, because all the research and all the work that you've done in building that business would be open record for the public. And that's just one of many, many reasons. If you were paying staff through a CBDC, everyone would be able to see what everyone else is getting. And we don't fully understand what this technology would bring and how it would evolve. And maybe some of the things are over exaggerations that I'm talking about. But I'm doing that specifically to just get you thinking about, wow, this is not going to be what it was before. Every single transaction would be transparent. But of course, we've got cryptocurrency, we've got Bitcoin, and that is a peaceful and honest way to opt out of the current system and to have a financial system that is not controlled and dictated by leaders, governments, and those people that can possibly be corrupted because of the amount of power they got. Don't get me wrong, I believe that governments and regulators and authority in a country is essential to any type of civilization. But I also believe that giving someone too much power when they make decisions and there's no consequences because they have the financial backing to bail themselves out, changes the aspect of government where they no longer have to serve us and they can simply dictate. And that is what we've got to make sure that we get some type of freedom from. Quick look at the questions. Does Altcoin plan to hold crypto seminars at least once a year? Miss Billionaire, I think that that is something that we have been thinking about for a long time, and it has come to the point where we are actually going to probably do it. I think in 2021 we will have might not be a seminar, but it might be a workshop, and in that workshop it might just allow people to get involved in cryptocurrency and to get started with crypto, with decentralized exchanges, and earning some type of interest or some type of passive income. I think that that is something that is sorely needed in our community, and is certainly something that we will consider doing. I personally have a passion to do something similar to that, hence my YouTube channel. Let's keep moving on, guys. Point number 12, which I'd like to discuss today, and I don't want to get this live stream, the first live stream, to be too long, so I am going to be watching the time and trying to just speed up, and that is universal basic income. And this point might not be related to cryptocurrency as such, but it is certainly related to what we've seen in 2020 and how the world is changing. We've got a lot of people that are now at home and are still earning an income, but that is going to actually become more and more the norm. We are going to, with artificial intelligence, with robots, and with equipment that is becoming more and more sophisticated, as a human race and as a species, still be able to achieve the food and the technology and the production that we currently have to physically work to achieve. And once that happens, we will be still getting everything that we need as a human race and not having to actually physically do the work. And the only way that we are going to be able to control the crops and the technology and the assets that we are accumulating as a human race is to provide people with a universal basic income. So a lot of people have said to me, but you have to work for your salary. You can't just give out free salaries. And I'm saying that that is a mindset that we have been born into and part of the legacy financial system that we have just become accustomed to. Think of it this way. This is a nice analogy that I like. Us humans, us pioneers that have been put on this planet, we are preparing Earth to be a hotel for our children and our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren. And if we are successful in preparing this planet to be a hotel, we all know that when you go to a hotel, you don't have to work. And hopefully our grandchildren or our great-grandchildren will get to a place where there will be peace on earth and they won't actually have to work or slog as debt slaves from 9 to 5 to simply eat. They will be able to do art and music and invent things and do things that they are passionate about, like studying medical cures for all of the diseases that are hampering us as a species. It will free us to fulfill our full potential. So guys, I'm not going to get too philosophical, but universal basic income is something that I believe is imminent and will happen. And people that say, no, you will never get money for free, guys, you need to start rethinking this. We are debt slaves. We slog from 9 to 5 to put food on the table. And that is certainly not the ultimate way to live. I believe that as we build robots and technology to take over the work and the effort and the energy that we have to put in to survive, we will free ourselves up for much greater aspirations and things. Let me leave that topic before it gets too out of control. So that is number 12, universal basic income. What we are going to now start focusing on is changes that we've seen in the cryptocurrency sphere. Let's have a quick look at questions. Nicely going on for the first live stream. Very informative and appreciated. Hilton, thanks very much for that positive comment. And it's always nice to know that this live stream is actually working, because guys, there have been times when I've just been thinking, am I talking to myself? Is this actually going out to anyone? But just from your comments and your feedback, guys, thanks very much. I do appreciate that things are working and we are talking. And I'm able to share some stuff with you, and you guys are able to interact with me. Let's talk about number 13, crypto regulation. Now, we are seeing South Africa very much on the forefront of regulating crypto. And in South Africa, I've always said, certainly publicly, that our government, our regulators, have taken a very responsible approach to cryptocurrency. And for that, I'm very grateful, because they have not just come in and snuffed out the industry. You know, a lot of people are very critical of the South African government because very often poor decisions have been made, especially economic or financial decisions. And yet with crypto, we are seeing that the South African government is taking a responsible, innovative approach. And they are actually starting to consider how it would affect the economy if they snuffed out crypto. And with that, of course, they are having a crypto-friendly approach. Now, guys, what a lot of you might not know, and I'm sharing probably for the first time, is that a lot of the top people in the Reserve Bank of South Africa actually have left. They have found better opportunities outside of our borders. And these are the guys that industry leaders like AltCoinTrader have been talking to and discussing things with. And we have built up a rapport, and we have, they have taken some of our suggestions and used them in the legislation drafts that they've put out. Now, because we've seen a lot of these top people actually leave the country, of course, there's always new people that will come into place. But those new people have to be brought up to speed and have to get an understanding of crypto, have to get an understanding of the South African regulation, and have to get an understanding of all the work that we've done with their predecessors. So that has certainly, in my opinion, put the brakes on some of the crypto regulation, which may or may not be positive. But once again, we are moving forward, and we know that the Financial Services Conduct Authority have put out what they say is proposed regulations for cryptocurrencies. And at this stage, industry players and AltCoinTrader, we are very positive, and we are looking forward to setting up rails where the public and the man in the street can be reasonably protected while investing in cryptocurrency. So a lot of people are afraid of regulation. I want to say at this stage, it's not something that we need to be afraid of. We certainly need to embrace it. And remember, we're all working together to try and benefit society. So let's just move away from the fact where the regulators are out to get us and they're out to make us pay taxes. No, that's not the case. It is a give and take situation where we are trying to put together a better and alternative financial system that is not only for thugs and people that are breaking the law, but it is for people that are able to make proper investments into cryptocurrency. Sue says, good job for the first time. Thanks very much, Sue. I appreciate that positive comment. Okay, guys, now what we also saw in 2020, and point number 14, is yield farming. Yield farming brought us to a stage. It was a craze in 2020 that I thoroughly enjoyed. And when I say I thoroughly enjoyed it, certainly I made some good money in yield farming. But let's not gloss over the negatives. I lost money with yield farming. And it was, for a lot of people, a very good thing, and for a lot of people, a very bad thing. Like with anything in life, there were pros and cons. If you were understanding yield farming and watching the developments and not just in it for the sick gains, you really got to see the possibilities that are available on the alternative financial system. And for me, it was an absolute eye-opener. You can take loans, you can take insurance, you can earn interest on your money, you can borrow money out. And that's just a couple of the things that you could do in DeFi space. But yield farming was essentially a way for people to get their tokens out into the wild, or get their tokens to the hands of many other people. So what they would do is they would reward you for putting their token as liquidity onto a decentralized exchange by paying you in the same token. So essentially paying you out of thin air and rewarding you with the yield out of a token that they created. And of course, what we typically saw, and this wasn't the case for all yield farming projects, was that that token came out and just gradually decreased in price because people were getting that token as a reward and selling it for some of the more well-known cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin or Ethereum, which I think was the sane and obvious thing to do, but that resulted in yield farming obviously going into, in some stages, negative yields or in permanent loss. I'm just going to gloss over yield farming, but what it did do is it gave us the opportunity to earn money with cryptocurrency. And I think that has changed the way we think about crypto investing forever. Let's have another. Sue's also commenting. She says the stream is good, so hopefully we've got good bandwidth and you guys are not getting any lag. Now, point number 15 of our 20 points, decentralized exchanges. Guys, this is certainly something that is noteworthy. For the first time ever in 2020, we saw the volumes on decentralized exchanges overtaking the volumes of centralized exchanges. Decentralized exchanges were always a nice idea. People were playing with them, but they were never really used and they never really had good volume. But in 2020, that all changed. And for the first time ever, decentralized exchanges volume actually, in some cases and in some months, surpassed that of centralized exchanges. So if you've been thinking decentralized exchanges are the future and it is true freedom from your crypto, for your crypto, you might be right. And we are seeing this unfold in front of our very eyes. One of the certainly the highlights that I saw in 2020 and something that I was very happy to see. Decentralized exchanges are here to stay, and we can only expect better innovation with them in the future. A lot of decentralized exchanges going to bring out limit orders, going to bring out market orders, going to bring out a lot of things that we see and we're currently used to on centralized exchanges. Guys, I'm just going to have a quick sip of water because my throat is getting a little bit dry. Let's see if there's any other questions. If you do have any questions, feel free to shoot them in the chat. There's not many people viewing this first live stream, maybe because I didn't announce it. Maybe I did that purposely. So it does give you the opportunity to ask a question or to say something. Much better. Okay. Now, point number 16, institutional money. My word, I've been talking about this since, I think, 2016. We've been wanting institutional money to flow into crypto. And guys, it has finally happened. We are now seeing massive, massive companies putting portions of their balance sheet into cryptocurrency. So in other words, if companies have got huge amounts of money, specifically American companies, they are concerned because the fact that the dollar is devaluing so quickly, they don't want to lose half of their money. And there's nowhere else to put this money for a store of value other than possibly metals or cryptocurrencies. And at this stage, cryptocurrencies are certainly leading the charge. Now, the strange thing here is that Bitcoin and crypto is doing so well because these institutions are putting in so much money. But yet the retail investor, the man on the street, hasn't yet entered the space. And we haven't seen what we saw in 2017, where everybody was talking about Bitcoin and the man on the street was investing in Bitcoin. We have only seen cryptocurrencies achieving the heights that they've achieved now, in my opinion, because of institutional money that has come in, and obviously more money that flows into the space, the higher it will go. We've always celebrated the Bitcoin halvings because that cuts the supply of Bitcoin. But that has been nothing compared to what the institutions are doing and the way that the institutions are buying up Bitcoin. You know, some Grayscale is buying Bitcoin at a rate that exceeds what miners are able to produce Bitcoin at. So that is certainly more pertinent than the halving. And we are going to see Bitcoin becoming more and more scarce because of this institutional investment. And as a result of that, we all know demand and supply, as the item becomes more scarce, the price is going to go up. Now, if you, like me, have been looking at some of the predictions, people are talking about Bitcoin going to $400,000 in 2022. and over 200,000 in 2021. 2021 is a couple of days away. Guys, Bitcoin has an asymmetrical upside. And if you're not paying attention and you don't have some of your savings in Bitcoin, I would urge you to go onto AltCoinTrader, or hey, in fact, any exchange, just get some exposure to Bitcoin. Because if these crazy people that are giving these crazy price predictions are correct, you don't want to be missing out on some of this wealth transfer. Get a hold of some Bitcoin, hold it, save it. If you're in AltCoinTrader, you can invest it at 4% per annum and actually make a return on that. So that would be something that would really be good. Institutional money, we've been waiting for it for a long time. It has flown into crypto. You can see it on many of the headlines, and it is content for videos themselves. Point number 17, PayPal. Let's just have a look at what PayPal has done. Guys, I made a video on my channel talking about the PayPal adopting cryptocurrencies, and it is massive. An institution as big as PayPal starting to take on cryptocurrency, allowing people to buy 4 of the major cryptocurrencies, which is Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, I forget the 4th, but that is absolutely amazing. And what will happen is that people that never looked at Bitcoin before, specifically in America or the United States, because that's where it's been rolled out so far, and of course we know that this is going to go worldwide, people that never looked at exchanges and weren't in this crypto ecosystem, that had PayPal accounts, and there's millions, all of a sudden realize, hey, I can buy a Bitcoin. And everyone that did buy a Bitcoin when PayPal launched this has made massive returns on that cryptocurrency. And that, of course, has left a positive feeling with the investors. And that will start to fuel the retail investor and the man in the street to get into Bitcoin in a bigger way, which of course will have the knock-on effect of getting PayPal to buy more and more Bitcoin, which, as we all know, will push the price of Bitcoin even higher. Don't underestimate the effect that PayPal has had on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency going mainstream in 2020. Guys, we're getting to the end of our points. We're on point number 18. Let's see what Hilton says. Remind us quickly of how we invest in AltCoinTrader at 4%. Hilton, that's a very good question. Let me go there and just show you how that is done. At the same time, so I'm not going to do it. But log into your AltCoinTrader account. Go /easy-save. And you will see the savings platform. Now that hasn't launched yet, so it's not live, right? But when it does launch, a lot of people will be able to go in there and invest. So sorry, let me just correct that because I got slightly confused. It is a soft launch. It is live. You can go and invest right now and you can earn interest. You can earn 4% on Bitcoin. You can earn 10.44% on Tron. And you can do that right now. It is live in the soft launch phase. Any interest you earn will be yours, and it is fully functional for all intents and purposes. When I said it's not live, I meant we haven't launched it officially to everyone. So only people watching my channel, watching this live stream, or watching 1 or 2 of the other pieces of content that I've put out will actually know about it. But I believe that it is going to be massive in 2021. And a lot of people are going to start investing their crypto because we've passed the stage where crypto just sits in an account and doesn't earn you any interest. Now, let's talk about point number 18. Hilton, just give me some feedback if that makes sense to you and you with me, and if you are able to find it and you are able to invest and hopefully earn some really good crypto. So, point number 18, Ethereum launches phase 0 of Ethereum 2.0. Now guys, Ethereum has got a lot of competition and we've often heard about the Ethereum killers. Yet, Ethereum has first mover advantage. It has got more developers than any other protocol that are actively working on it. And what we've seen in the DeFi space and in the interest space and in the alternative financial space that we are building, we've seen that people are paying astronomical fees. In addition to that, the Ethereum network is congested and slow, and has caused a lot of people to look at alternatives. But with the launch of Ethereum Phase 0, we can see that that will bring enthusiasm and confidence back to the DeFi investors and back to the people that are using the Ethereum blockchain for building innovative projects. So what we can expect to happen is confidence will be up, and sure, Ethereum 2.0 is years away. We are going to see a phased approach and a very slow, gradual rollout of this, but we know that DeFi, Ethereum, the blockchain will eventually scale, and it will be able to support this amazing alternative financial system that we are proposing and hoping to get to become mainstream. So very exciting. It started, and you know, a journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. And that's pretty much what we're looking at with Ethereum. Point number 19. Bitcoin reaches all-time highs. Thank goodness, it finally happened. Now, in 2017, we saw Bitcoin just under 20,000 US dollars. I think at that stage it was about 332,000 Rand on AltCoinTrader. Of course, the Rand dollar price fluctuates, so all-time highs on dollars wouldn't always be the same as all-time high on Rands. But a lot of people held from 2017 all the way to 2020, the end of 2020. So well done to you guys. A lot of people, of course, sold and took massive losses because they didn't have the confidence that Bitcoin would ever reach its all-time high again. And I think that what we are about to see is all-time highs on a regular basis with Bitcoin. But on a positive note, anyone who ever invested in Bitcoin at the time that it reached its all-time high was in the the green, was positive and had made money. So nobody has lost money if they bought Bitcoin ever at the point when it reaches its all-time high. And that, to me, is absolutely amazing. It just shows that cryptocurrency is here to stay. This alternative financial system that we are building is very real and will continue to happen in 2021. Hilton says, thank you. We'll check it out after the stream. Thanks, Hilton. I'm sure that you'll find it very simple to use. We spent a lot of time trying to make it as basic and as innovative as possible, and just user friendly, so you can go and earn some money on your cryptocurrencies. Guys, I'm going to allow a couple more minutes for questions after the stream, but the last point, the 20th talking point for 2020, and I just wanted to put a light spin on it, is one of the quotes that I like and maybe would just ease the mood of this really hard economic year that we've had with 2020, and that is, living on Earth is expensive, but it does include a free trip around the sun every year. So guys, everybody is getting a free trip around the sun in 2021. Isn't that awesome? So when everything looks glum, just remember, we're all gonna travel. Guys, that's it for me. That's the 20 talking points of 2020. I just want to wish everyone happy holidays. Be sweet and kind to your family. Don't be that guy or that girl that starts the fight that causes a family feud that could last for many years. Just be kind and try and do the right thing. Sometimes you might have to bite your tongue and just push through. But remember, Christmas, holiday seasons, whatever religion or holiday or festivity you happen to be celebrating this time of the year, try and make it an amazing one, and try and be good and kind to your family. Dave says, wishing you a blessed festive season. Dave, that is my wishes to each and every one of you guys. I'm going to cut the live stream for here. Guys, the first live stream, I think went reasonably well. I will maybe be doing one every now and again and trying to see if we can get more engagement from the community. That's it from me. I'm out. Now, of course, I've got to try and figure out how to turn this off. There's a big red button that says end live stream.